Trump actually does have a plan here. It's not to put a cap on the drug prices. That'd be too easy and simple.
We're working very hard right now to get the other countries to lift up their prices a little bit and to get the drug companies to put it to them. And if they don't, the drug companies will have a lot of problems, and they are mostly agreed to it. And if the countries don't, then as an example, if it's Europe, I'll say that's okay. You're no longer allowed to sell cars in America. You're no longer allowed to have Mercedes, BMW, Volkswagen, or any of the other many cars. And they will say, oh, I love the idea of lower drug prices for America.
So the plan, just so I have it right, is to lower drug prices here by forcing Europe to raise drug prices over there, or they can't sell us their cars, reducing our choices as consumers and making cars in general more expensive for everybody. And I know it's very confusing, but I've seen this before. This is crackhead logic, all right? A crackhead can never go from A to B, all right? When I was a kid, I'd see a dude who needed $15, but instead of asking for money, he would try to sell you a tire, which of course he didn't have, but he did have a bike chain, and if you would buy that bike chain from him for $12, he would put that towards the tire, and then one day, eventually, buy crack. And my point is, that's a better drug plan than what Donald Trump is doing. You know what? $2,000 would help a lot of people. If the money's there, the money's there.
If the president sent $2,000 checks to the 150 million people who make less than $100,000, it would cost $300 billion, even though the tariffs are only projected to raise about $217 annually.
The money's not there. And now I'm starting to get worried because that's $83 billion short. And I'm not saying Trump is the worst president of all time. I'm just saying I've never met anyone who was $83 billion short. And by the way, he's only $83 billion short if he hasn't promised the tariff money to anybody else.
We're going to take some of that tariff money that we made, we're going to give it to our farmers. The big thing we want to do is pay down debt.
The president tapped into tariff revenue to keep WIC money for women and infants and children going out the door.
Tariffs is one of the reasons why we have the money in the Treasury to actually be able to pay our troops.
I think the tariffs will be enough to cut all of the income tax.
Donald Trump's suggesting that tariffs could fund the country's child care needs.
That'll easily pay for the Golden Dome, and we'll have a lot of money left over.
Money left over? The money that never existed is already spent. And you're running around the country promising money you do not have to multiple people many times over. Every week I'm at this desk, I say this, and I guess I'll have to say this for 3 more years, but this is crackhead behavior. With all these guys running defense for Trump, all he has to do is act cool. You know, if you get a question, don't freak out.
The Supreme Court is back in session. They rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance at getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're open to doing?
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long.
I haven't heard the name in so long. She's not asking you about the Baha Men. You're over here being like, who? All right. They ask you if you're going to pardon her. You barely remember her, right? You don't know her, and you're trying to get into heaven, buddy. Remember? That's the plan. That's the journey you're on. You're trying to get into heaven, and you don't even really know this lady, so you're obviously not even going to consider pardoning her.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So
Why would she be a candidate?
I will speak to the DA.
Why would she be? But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it.
Hey, man. Hey. Maybe when you hear the words child sex trafficking, the next thing you say shouldn't be, I'm going to look at it. All right? The only way to phrase that worse is, now I gotta see this.
For those of you who believe that professional sports and politics are an inept comparative, Not only did the Democrats and Giants lose in the same, I can't f***ing believe it manner, they sound the same doing it.
It's natural and appropriate to feel deep disappointment.
Disappointing outcome.
It was not the result many of us wanted.
Want to get the results that you hoped for and came up short?
It never feels good to come up short.
We came up short, and that was a tough one.
You learn and you prepare to do better in the future.
You're always learning and trying to be better. Well, not enough wins. Not enough wins.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest.
Inspired yet?
So that's all the news in terms of bombshell emails? It's not a lot. It's not like there's an email with a journalist where he's strategizing how to blackmail Trump.
Michael Wolff says, quote, I hear that CNN is planning to ask Trump tonight about his relationship with you. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the House, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you. Or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt.
I like that Epstein was like, yeah, that seems like a lot of work. I'm probably just going to kill myself. Also, why was Jeffrey Epstein writing about his crimes in emails? That's so dumb. He's firing off his BlackBerry to Ghislaine like, hey, girl, following up about the sex crimes. Hope Trump doesn't snitch about the sex crimes. Hit me up if you want sex crimes this weekend. Say what you want about Donald Trump, but he knows better than to put incriminating shit in emails. He does it in person, or on the phone, or reportedly inside a sketch of a naked lady, but never email.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, you know, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
I don't know, man. Heaven is tough to get into. Like, I don't want to throw cold water on your hopes and dreams, but you might want to think about trying to get into, like, a safety heaven. Like, whatever SUNY Albany of heaven is up there, you know what I mean? Like, apply there, you know? Because the truth is, there's probably a good reason for Trump to worry about getting into heaven, you know? Is it? Yep. That too. I mean, that wasn't even the first thing I thought of. Crazy how many things there are. So the GOP didn't do Trump any favors by releasing these emails. They basically saw his grease fire and said, let us add some water. And his supporters on TV aren't doing that much better.
This is obviously an attempt to smear the president by cherry picking.
This is just all for show.
A distraction.
Just ridiculous.
The carnival show. It's journalistically malpractice.
They love to create drama.
This whole Epstein files thing, it's a little bit played out.
Played out? You know shit's bad when the sensationalist media is like, you guys don't want to hear about the international island sex scandal. Let's talk about budgetary cuts. Let's get nasty. Come on, guys, that's not going to work. If you want to downplay this story, you need a master, all right? Megyn Kelly, you're a master of spin. Show us what you got.
As for Epstein, he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. You know, it's just whatever. It's sick.
How the hell was Megyn Kelly ever an attorney? Your Honor, my client only engaged in diet pedophilia. Ma'am, everyone knows there's a big difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old, but everyone also knows there is never a good reason to be talking about that difference.
This is what the Democrats have squandered. A country finally shaking off Trump's Jedi mind tricks and saying, no, these are the droids we're looking for. And instead of pressing that advantage, perhaps neutralizing Trump's reality distortion field for good, the Democrats just suddenly went, droids? I guess we aren't looking for those droids. But you'll help us find them later, right? They squandered their leverage, sapped their voters' enthusiasm, and snatched defeat from the jaws of victory. And it's just too bad that we are now stuck with these leaders that we have on that side, and there's nothing that can be done about it.
This just in, the New York Giants have just fired head coach Brian Daboll.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And worst of all for Trump, it's not just his allies in Congress or conservative Americans. He's pissed off his most important base of support. Crazy-ass lunatics.
Jacob Chansley, the QAnon Shaman, who became famous for his horned outfit during the January 6th Capitol riot, is lashing out at the man who gave him a pardon. Chansley called the president a fraud.
Wow. Do you know how down bad you are when the guys who went to prison for you are turning on you? Like, I need to stress this real quick. He went to jail for Trump. This would be like if Nelson Mandela came out of prison like, you know what? I'm done with black people. Donald Trump is not about the past. This man is about America's future. Bringing one crackhead to justice may have been Trump's biggest first-year accomplishment. He's been very clear about what his second-year biggest accomplishment is going to be.
We need Greenland. All we're asking for is to get Greenland, including right title and ownership. We're talking about acquiring, not leasing. Not having it short term, we're talking about acquiring. You need ownership. You really need title, as they say in the real estate business.
You heard the man. We need Greenland. We need it like Hunter Biden needs crack, all right? We're notorious Greenland heads. And that's the type of dude he is. If Trump wants something, he gets it. It's like if you went out to a bar with your friend and you saw a gorgeous woman across the bar, and then he turned to you and said, I'm going home with her tonight. You may need to pay the tab because your boy's about to smash. That's just the kind of confidence Donald Trump has. And that's why today he flew to Davos to explain to Europe why America should own Greenland.
No nation or group of nations is in any position to be able to secure Greenland other than the United States. It's the United States alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us.
That's right. It's huge, undeveloped, in a strategic location. It's like if your grandma had a Manhattan apartment she bought in 1950. Once she dies in it, you're going to push her down the trash chute and live like a king. It all sounds great, but I do have one problem. We already have a treaty with Denmark that lets us build as many military bases in Greenland as necessary. I don't know why we need to own Greenland to defend it.
You need the ownership to defend it. You can't defend it on a lease. Number one, legally it's not defensible that way, totally. And number two, psychologically, who the hell wants to defend a license agreement or a lease?
I guess I get what he means, because you do care less about things when they're not yours. Like, a parent will do anything to protect their kids, but if I'm babysitting... Yeah, I mean, like, I'll give it a good college try, but at the end of the day, he don't look like me, all right? I'll be honest, I don't think Trump pardoned another president so that he could get pardoned later. That's just too smart for Trump. It's like seeing a monkey draw a cube. There's no way he knew that's what he was drawing. There had to be another, dumber reason why Trump pardoned Hernandez.
The ex-president of Honduras wrote a letter to President Trump back in October calling Trump Your Excellency and praising Trump's resilience in what he called the face of political persecution, writing in part, "Just as you, President Trump, I have suffered political persecution targeted by the Biden-Harris administration."
It was that easy? All you have to do is write Trump a letter saying that Biden framed you for something you definitely did, had a trial for, and were convicted of. You are the most did it. Because if it really is that easy, you know what this means. I don't think Diddy can read or write.
I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me.
Trump, are you sick? I mean, aside from all the visible signs that your body is falling apart, are you sick or something? Like, we should take a second here, because this is the first time I've seen Trump be humble about anything. Like, normally he'd be like, heaven's begging me to come. I'm only staying alive to play hard to get. Jesus came up to me with tears in his eyes and he said, please, sir, come fix heaven. It's a total dump. It's like he just realized he only has immunity here on earth. And this isn't a one-off. Trump's been talking about this heaven thing a lot lately.
If you're not a believer and you believe you go nowhere, what's the reason to be good, really? There has to be some kind of a report card up there someplace, you know, like, let's go to heaven, let's get into heaven. I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole.
Oh man, this is such a bleak and completely accurate view of his chances in heaven. Ghislaine Maxwell got moved into a country club prison after she gave an interview saying this.
I never witnessed the president in any inappropriate setting in any way. In the times that I was with him, he was a gentleman in all respects.
Well, no, that's something. And she said it British, so you gotta believe her. I don't know what she's got on him, but it must be bad, because she didn't even exonerate him. She didn't say Trump is innocent. All she said was, I didn't see him do anything. I also didn't see him do anything. What do I get? That's all she said, and now she's being treated like royalty.
A whistleblower alleges that Ghislaine Maxwell is getting special treatment in prison.
Maxwell's meals have been customized. They are delivered directly to her cell. She is personally escorted to the exercise area after hours and gets to enjoy recreation time in staff-only areas. When she wants private meetings, the warden personally arranges them, providing an assortment of snacks and refreshments for her guests.
I mean, she gets to hang out in the staff areas. Can you imagine being a prison guard who can't watch TV in the break room because Ghislaine taking a nap on the couch? For the last year, Donald Trump has been fiending for a Nobel Peace Prize, like a humanitarian award addict. He's tried everything from whining to pretending that he ended 8 wars to offering to suck Norway's fjord in the parking lot. But the Nobel Committee gave the prize to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado. And Trump was so butthurt, he said that she should give her prize to him. And because that's the stupidest possible thing that could happen, guess what happened?
Venezuela's opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner, Maria Corina Machado, saying she presented her prize to President Trump.
Wow. This is one of the saddest images I've seen in months. And I follow one of those hairless cats on Instagram. You know the medal is only a symbol, right? Like, just because I steal A$AP Rocky's wedding ring doesn't make it so I'm married to Rihanna. Unless it would. I guess it's really what she thinks. Like, it's kind of her decision to make, and I'm waiting. So look, earned or not, his or not, Trump has the Peace Prize. And who knows, having the Peace Prize might make him a man of peace. What if he spends the rest of his life devoted to living up to it?
President Trump turns up the heat on Greenland. The president refusing to rule out military action.
You just got the Peace Prize. It's insane to immediately do the opposite of what you get a prize for. That's like if right after the Olympics, Michael Phelps drowned in the shallow end. But when I saw this, I thought, all right, that's insane, but it's also Trump. Maybe it's just one of his jokes. I'm sure he'll back down.
Trump refusing to back down, overnight posting this fabricated image of himself planting the American flag with a sign that says Greenland, U.S. territory.
I love how even the AI version of J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio are still like, yo, this is a bad idea. No, we gonna get in trouble. And I'm not surprised AI Rubio looks like this, because AI is trained on real images. And every image of Marco Rubio looks like this. This man's body language is consistently screaming, man, No one can afford a home. Everybody keeps waiting for him to show up on Prime Day, but it never happens. So maybe Trump could do something to bring down mortgages.
The Trump administration moves forward with a plan to introduce 50-year mortgages.
Or you can make them much longer, you know, because you know where we'll all be in 50 years, dead, you know what I mean? This seems like a bad idea, and if black people could get loans, I'd be worried. But hey, maybe I'm just hating, all right? I mean, how much would a 50-year mortgage save people?
Take a $400,000 loan at 6% interest. Under a 30-year mortgage, the monthly payment would be just shy of $2,400. Under a 50-year loan, it drops to just over $2,100, a savings of nearly $300 a month.
Oh, boy! $300 a month? See, it's not a stupid idea. You know what? I'm going to apply for a 50-year mortgage right now.
But over time, that savings is erased by a much larger interest bill, because while the total interest on a 30-year loan would be about $463,000, the interest on a 50-year loan would total more than $860,000.
Signed, Ronnie Chang. In the middle of an active war against drug traffickers, Donald Trump has pardoned a man who smuggled in enough cocaine to give every American resting Kash Patel face. It's confusing to say the least, but if I know Donald Trump, he'll have a very coherent and well thought out explanation for this pardon.
You've made so clear how you want to keep drugs out of the U.S.
Right.
Can you explain more about why you would pardon a notorious drug trafficker?
Well, I don't know who you're talking about.
You know you've been pardoning too many people when you're like, I'm sorry, which notorious drug lord are we talking about? At least give me the first letter or we'll be here all night. It's wild how Trump always talks to the media like he's in court. He's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I wasn't there. I'm not even here. But after they reminded Trump who this guy was, he did have some semblance of an explanation.
Well, you take a look. I mean, they could say that you take any country you want. If somebody sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life. And that includes this country, okay? To be honest, I mean, if somebody does something wrong, do you put the president of the country in jail?
The point is, he wants Greenland. And you can tell because his focus is 100% on Greenland.
The president referred to Greenland as Iceland.
I'm helping NATO, and I've until the last few days when I told them about Iceland, they loved me.
Okay, anyone can slip up, all right? Obviously, he doesn't mean Iceland. He's not going to make that mistake 3 times in as many sentences.
They're not there for us on Iceland, that I can tell you. I mean, our stock market took the first dip yesterday because of Iceland. So Iceland's already cost us a lot of money.
I'm just glad we got rid of the last guy whose brain didn't work. But you know what? It doesn't matter what he said, because when the man wants something, he gets it.
We are following even more breaking news. President Trump now says he has reached a, quote, framework deal on Greenland.
What did I just say? All right? That crazy finger-losing son of a bitch did it again. He got himself a deal, and you know that deal includes owning Greenland.
Does it still include the United States having ownership of Greenland like you've said you wanted?
Wait a minute, that doesn't sound good. That's not the of ownership. You at least got a deal, right? Trump, tell me you got a deal.
Well, we have a concept of a deal.
Concepts of a deal? You flew all the way to Davos for concepts of a deal? This is so sad. Remember that friend at the bar who went to approach the beautiful woman? This is like if he just walked back up and you're like, okay, well, what did she say? And he's like, oh, her? Nah, she a ghost. Well, did you at least get her digits? I got concepts of digits. I know there's a 7 in there somewhere. A peace deal has been reached between Israel and Hamas, and it's based on the framework Donald Trump proposed, which means another thing you almost never hear, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I gotta give Donald Trump some props here, you know? It doesn't happen a lot. In fact, I can only think of this, the COVID vaccine, and Home Alone 2. You know? Don't get me wrong, this is astonishing because if this peace holds, it means the guy who couldn't stop a fight between Gary Busey and Meatloaf brokered peace in the Middle East. So Trump, when it comes to peace, you did it. You know, I mean, you also did a big portion of the war, but you did the peace too. It's like how white people did slavery in America, but they also ended slavery in America. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Either way, this is a reason to celebrate. And look, if this deal holds, maybe we should give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Or, and you won't like this either, we let him burn the Epstein files. He only gets one, but he gets to pick, all right? If you don't care about Coke or Trump's health, don't worry. He's got some true crime for you.
This morning, the Trump administration releasing more than 230,000 pages of records related to the assassination of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr.
That's how bad things are for Trump. His back is against the wall so hard, he's releasing more Black history. But this might be the worst distraction because all he did was remind us that he can declassify thousands of secret files, and people noticed.
Bernice King, the daughter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., posted this picture on social media with the caption that simply reads, "Now do the Epstein files."
Damn, that is cold. Do you know how much you have to screw up for Dr. King's family to go, no, we choose violence?
How much does AI impact your job, and are you afraid of it for the future?
I'm not necessarily afraid of AI in what I do as far as performance. I think it's already been very well said that like the things that people do for connection and for real experiences, AI can't replace. The other thing that happens with AI that I don't think, obviously someone could lose their job to AI, which isn't really true. Someone gave your job to AI. Like the AI didn't come in the room with legs. You know what I mean? Like AI doesn't have legs to then walk in and be like, I think I'm better. Like that's not, AI is not pitching itself against you. Someone who wants to save the money that they think that you are wants to replace you. So I think we put it all on the AI instead of putting it on employers and companies and like a corporate mindset and everything. But when it comes to stand-up, people want to show up and have an experience with other people. And I think that that's something that can't be replaced by AI, at least in that sphere, right? As far as writing goes, there are definitely going to be people who would opt to, whether it's for money or for ease, because they aren't great collaborators, work with an AI and try to be better prompt writers than better collaborators and writers. That's all, I guess, well and good. We'll see how far you get with that, just because the thing that AI does to people that I don't feel like anyone talks about because it is embarrassing having the entire world of possibility mixed up in the internet for like A and B testing and for mixing and matching everything that should be copyrighted, right? Having all of the human history that has been digitized and stolen only reveals to you how few ideas you really have. You know what I mean? When you are sitting in front of a thing that's like, this is a text to image AI, right? Type in anything you want, I'll give you an image of it. First 5 minutes, you're probably pumping out stuff that seems funny, fun, I'll show somebody this, whatever. After an hour, you're like, oh, I don't know what I would do with this. But this thing only exists because of the ideas that we have. So it's a vicious cycle that doesn't really go anywhere. And so I think that when the bubble pops, it won't be in some dramatic way where employers are like, we're hiring everybody back because we were wrong. I think it will just quietly be people realizing that it is a tool, but it is not a replacement, you know? So I don't worry about it in that way. You would think that if we're all about to die, Antifa would be the only network on your mind.
ABC is terrible. NBC is terrible. MSNBC is dying, and CNN is dying like a dog. MSNBC is sick. Yeah. They're sick. I would say CNN is not quite as bad as MS. Poor CNN. They're so pathetic. Beautiful black women are wearing a MAGA hat last night on television.
Come on, guys, all right? The plan is to scare people about Antifa. You're not going to do that if you keep trailing off about hot black women you remember, all right? So look, I'm not saying that there's no such thing as Antifa, but I look at Antifa the way I look at Bigfoot. It's big, scary, and tearing up the Pacific Northwest. But all we ever hear about is what the people who believe in it think is happening. Forget mortgages, because Trump's got other plans to make sure you afford whatever you want. You're going to be exhausted from affording. You're going to afford everywhere.
President Trump now says he wants to send out $2,000 rebate checks paid for by his tariffs.
One of the things we're going to do, we're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000.
Wait a second. Okay. Trump's making everybody pay tariffs, but only poor people are getting the $2,000 checks. So he's just redistributing taxes from rich people to poor people. Did Donald Trump just stupid himself into socialism? I mean, you're doing a great job, Mr. President. We always believed. Everybody shut up, all right? Don't say a word. Let this play out, and we'll have free health care by Christmas, all right? Nobody call him Mango Mamdani, all right? Great idea, Mr. President. Very capitalism.
How does the shutdown impact controllers in towers like this, not just in New York, but around the country?
I think the biggest thing is, it's just a distraction that we don't need. Yeah. If there's one thing I don't need in a job like this, it's a distraction. The only thing more distracting than a shutdown would be if my boss showed up with a camera crew and made me do an interview facing away from the windows while I'm trying to land planes. But anyway, I interrupted you. Sean Duffy, you were trying to give these air traffic controllers a morale boost. I have a wife that doesn't work, 2 kids at home. If I don't get a paycheck here in a couple of weeks, I still have to provide for them. So it's not something that I want to have to be thinking about.
Mortgage, car payments, utility bills, food, all issues.
I'm a working guy just like you are.
Not helping, all right? Damn, Duffy, he knows what bills he has to pay. You don't need to make a whole Destiny's Child song about it. He's up there like, you got your mortgage, your car payment, your roof needs to be replaced. Man, I'd be stressed if I was you. Plus, your wife is home alone all day. You don't know who she's banging. This shit is getting out of control. Trump is threatening an invasion. Le Top Gun is saying we won't be bullied. Does Donald Trump have any way of getting Greenland without a war?
The Trump administration is reportedly considering paying the people of Greenland to get them to separate from Denmark. White House officials are discussing the possible lump sum payments of up to $100,000 per person in Greenland.
$100,000 to join America? I joined America. I've been joined America. Where's my signing bonus? Like, I thought the reason we couldn't have health care and stuff is because we were broke. Like, if you think Greenland needs this money, let me introduce you to a place called Detroit. There is not another convicted child sex trafficker in the world who would get this kind of treatment in prison. There's actually no way within the confines of prison that her life could get any better.
Add to that one more perk for the convicted sex offender, puppy time. According to the whistleblower, an inmate who trains puppies to become service dogs was instructed to provide one to Maxwell for a time so she could play with the puppy.
Do not give that dog to Ghislaine. That's not what they meant when they said take the dog to the groomer. So look, I don't know what Ghislaine knows about whatever Donald Trump did. All I know is that every detail that comes out makes him look more and more suspicious. And if you thought this couldn't look any worse, wait till you see the birthday card that Trump sent that dog. Yeah. Yo, can I tell you a crazy story? This is wild. Okay, so Josh Johnson, the quarterback, had a game. I think he was playing for like the 49ers at the time or something like that. Something happened. I don't know what it was, but there was like some fumble or just like people clearly had money on the game. On Twitter, and only on Twitter, I was at Josh Johnson. I did a show at the Comedy Cellar that night, and then I come into work. Like I came here the next day, and I just happened to like open my Twitter during lunch. And I was getting lit up. Like people were like, "Oh, you suck. You should quit." Like I can't believe it. Which is like all these horrible things that they meant to say to him, they were saying to me. And in my head, I was like, my set was fine. Like I didn't do anything groundbreaking, but I can't possibly be this bad. And it wasn't until another writer was like, "Do you see the game last night?" I was like, "What game? No." And he's like, "There's a guy with your name that like fumbled or whatever." And I was like, "Oh, thank goodness." Like this is, yeah. But I don't even think that was a, I think I interrupted your question, actually.
No, I just want to know if you've been mixed up with him before.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. In one of the worst ways possible. The only way it would have been worse is if I got mixed up with him with like the IRS, because that man makes money. Yeah, that guy's killing it. President Trump is not going to let this shutdown stop him from showing how much he cares about the health and well-being of the federal workers.
President Trump has already threatened to fire federal workers, and now the White House is floating a new threat, suggesting that some of the 750,000 federal workers might not get back pay.
Damn, Donald. You're going to furlough these workers and then take away their back pay? If I were them, I'm stealing way more than normal. You know what I mean? When I get back, I'm coming to work with a screwdriver. Forget the toilet paper. I'm taking the whole toilet. What else can you even do to these people?
For the most part, we're going to take care of our people. There are some people that really don't deserve to be taken care of, and we'll take care of them in a different way.
I guess kill them? He's not very good at delivering threats. Like, I'll take care of them in a different way could mean anything from murder to giving them a happy ending. But here's the thing, Donald. Are you sure you want to be piling more stress on air traffic controllers? Because they were already air traffic controllers. That job is like juggling and playing Russian roulette at the same time. I don't think they can handle not getting back pay. And if the air traffic control system falls apart, this is bad for you. Because if you can't fly anymore, that Qatari jet you got is just going to be sitting on the White House lawn like a white trash Winnebago. CNN found all this new footage, and Trump didn't really appreciate it.
You actually called President Trump directly to ask him about this story?
Yeah, we weren't on the phone very long. It only lasted about 30 seconds. But when I got him on the phone, I asked him about the wedding photos. He kind of paused and then said, "You've got to be kidding me." He then called CNN and me fake news a few times, and then he hung up the phone.
Wait, hold on. You can just call Donald Trump and he'll just pick up the phone himself? A president shouldn't be that available, you know? This is like pushing the call button for the flight attendant and then the pilot comes out. Like, it's like, aren't you supposed to be busy? Like, if you're here, then who's in the cockpit? I think this just shows how lonely Trump is. He's answering the phone because he just wants someone to talk to. It's kind of sad. Because remember, his best friend died in prison back in 2019. Yesterday marked 1 year since Trump's inauguration. That's like 1.5 popes ago. RIP to a real one. I will find your killer. So Trump decided to crash the White House press briefing to tout his accomplishments, but also to do some prop comedy.
Here's the book on accomplishments. And this is something, I'm glad my finger wasn't in that sucker. That could have done some damage, but you know what? I wouldn't have shown the pain. And I would have acted like nothing happened as my finger fell off. That was nasty. I think somebody did that.
Wait. First of all, is finger falling off something you think could happen to you? Is that on the menu? Like, I thought you had the best health report of all time. Now you're telling me fingers are falling off like it's autumn? Now, you might think this is just a stack of blank papers, or maybe if you're feeling generous, pictures of boobs. But this file was actually filled with Trump's accomplishments, which is why Trump treated it with the respect, care, and pride it deserved.
But look at this. These are all, each line is something that we did. Nobody did that before. And it's big stuff, too. Look, we have the hottest country in the world.
Wow, okay. Turns out Trump hates reading more than he loves bragging. All right. But look, whether you love what Trump's done the past year or hate it, he has been busy. Let's hear about some of these incredible accomplishments.
With bullet points like number 243, stripped notorious crackhead and grifter Hunter Biden of his taxpayer-funded Secret Service detail.
Notorious crackhead? That may seem harsh, but name another famous crackhead from the last 5 years. I'll wait. To be fair, the bar on crackhead notoriety is pretty low. Most people don't know the names of too many crackheads. Hell, most crackheads I know don't even know their own names. Yesterday, the Epstein story exploded back into the national conversation when House Democrats released 3 emails that Jeffrey Epstein wrote about his BFF Donald Trump. But Donald Trump has the entirety of the GOP behind him. And you know these world-class strategists have a plan for getting this story off the front page.
As part of the Republican response to the selective and limited release of emails by the Democrats, Republicans stepped up and put out 20,000 pages of Jeffrey Epstein-related documents.
Oh, no! This is the downside of your people really having your back, because they were basically like, he got nothing to hide. Here's 20,000 more emails. Don't you people know anything about a cover-up? This is like trying to hide pissing yourself by shitting yourself. Now, President Trump made big promises about lowering drug prices once he got into office, but all the haters said he was never actually going to get it done. Well, guess what, haters? His promises just got even bigger.
We're going to get the drug prices down, not 30 or 40%, which would be great, not 50 or 60. No, we're going to get them down 1,000%, 600%, 500%, 1,500%. Numbers that are not even thought to be achievable.
Yeah, I also thought it would not be achievable to lower drug prices 1,000%, because that's not how percentages work. Just so you understand, lowering drug prices 100% means it's free. Lowering it past that means they're going to give you money. Next year's Forbes billionaires list is just going to be a bunch of dudes with leukemia. Okay? On the bright side, we're actually going to be bankrupting insurance companies instead of the other way around. You know, if Trump had enacted this sooner, that CEO would have shot Luigi.
Well, I'll take a look at it.
But you're considering that?
I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So
Why would she be a candidate?
I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be? But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it.
Hey, man. Hey. Maybe when you hear the words child sex trafficking, the next thing you say shouldn't be, I'm going to look at it. All right? The only way to phrase that worse is, now I got to see this. But okay, all right. None of that went well. None of that was ideal. But you can do what you do best and throw a distraction in there. Change the topic away from pardoning sex criminals.
I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
Wait, so you don't remember Ghislaine, but you remember that we used to call Diddy Puff Daddy. That was 9 names ago. He put brother in it at one point. All you had to do was mention someone else who was not convicted of sex crimes, which is most people. And you chose Diddy. And I want to remind everyone, we were gathered here to talk about a road in Alaska. How exactly are we kicking the world's ass? All we're doing is threatening our own allies with tariffs.
It's called warfare, okay? And this is how you win. Like it says in that old Chinese proverb, hold your friends close because a smile is a rainbow on a cloudy day. Lucky numbers 12, 8, 6, and 14.
That's the thing, Michael. Americans are the ones who pay the tariffs. It's a tax on us. How is punishing ourselves supposed to get us Greenland?
You know, I don't like your tone, Josh. Maybe you need to experience how America fights. You want to go, dude?
Oh, come on, man. I don't want to go.
Because I don't think you're ready for this. You had enough? There's more with this kid.
Dude, what are you doing? Stop.
You had enough, Josh? I knew you would tap out just like Europe.
No. You're hurting yourself. That doesn't convince me this is a good strategy.
Oh, you're playing hardball, huh? Well, maybe it'll change your mind when I do this.
No, that did not change my mind. Are you okay, man?
No, I can do this all day. Because I have a concussion now and I probably shouldn't sleep.
Costa, you gotta call a doctor.
You need an ambulance that bad, huh, Costa?
You're Costa. I'm Josh.
Okay, so you're gonna give us Greenland then?
That's not even up to me.
Okay then, looks like I'm gonna have to really bring the hurt on you. Honey? Yeah, I want a divorce, that's right. Take the house and the kids. I know we're soulmates. I don't care. It's over. You ready to give up now, Josh?
Costa, why would you divorce your wife? She's the only thing people like about you.
Oh, you mean my ex-wife? I didn't want to even do this to you, but here we are, just me and you in a room that's spinning. I smell toast. Does anyone else smell toast?
You really should go to a hospital.
Well, joke's on you, dumbass. I can't. I was on my wife's health insurance. God, I miss her.
Look, this is all irrational. It's not just the tariffs. We're destroying our own alliances. We're hurting our own reputation. America is just shooting ourselves in the foot.
You read my mind. Say goodbye to my foot, bitch.
No. This war in Venezuela just shows how serious Donald Trump is about going after these drug traffickers. If there's even one guy on a little fishing boat, Trump's taking him out. So drug dealers, watch your back.
President Trump has issued a full and unconditional pardon for the former president of Honduras. Juan Orlando Hernandez was serving a 45-year sentence after he was convicted on major drug trafficking charges in the U.S. last year.
Like I just said, drug dealers, watch your back, because Trump is about to give you a nice massage. But maybe I'm missing something about this pardon. Maybe he's not some kingpin. I mean, this is America, the country that locks people up for years just because they happen to have a little baggie of drugs. How do we know this marginalized president deserved 45 years? I'm sure whatever this guy did, it wasn't that bad.
Juan Orlando Hernandez helped smuggle 400 tons of cocaine into the U.S.
I'm sorry, 400 tons of cocaine? First of all, how do you even shove all that up your ass? I didn't even know you could measure cocaine in tons. It's like if someone told you they weighed 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Like, the f*** are you talking about?